Howdy. How's it going? What's going on, America? What are you good people doing? You're all amazing. You're all extraordinary. So today is January 19th, 2023. My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American cheer. You can always look up the definition on the website too. Even though the website is really old and outdated, it's there. The information is there. Hasn't really changed. I mean, I'm still, doing the exact same thing I was then. That's based on the same thing. I haven't changed one word on that website since we posted it up, and that was a long time ago. So, what it is what it is. So it was written a long time ago. It was written like 9 years ago, and put up on the web as a website, AmericanCheer.com, for all to see, all to read. It says the information's there. Like I said, the website's outdated, so you may not like the presentation of the website, but the words are very clear. The definition is very clear. Everything about it is clear. There's no, gray areas or a bunch of fluff, just to make it sound good, or and it was originally written, so it's not like I can have any references in the back to say this is where I got pieces of information, because I didn't, I just didn't get it from any outside resource like books or the internet or anything like that. So it was just formulated organically and original on its own, and that says a lot, especially nowadays in America, because of social media and content people, is that it's easy to deliver content when you just can go to Google and look it up, take down some notes, 3 ways to sleep better, I don't know, 3 ways, 5 things you can do to improve your life, and so, and the things I talk about are just personal stories and real stuff about Americans. I don't do that. You don't ever see me up there with a sheet of paper trying to say, these are the steps you take. If I am, it's only because I took those steps myself, and I understand what I'm talking about. So I don't even have to do that kind of stuff. But people that are really like beautiful content deliveries, people that are influencers, I guess, that are very beautiful, good-looking people, they definitely have to drudge up, from what I can tell when I'm watching their videos, is drudge up content to deliver, because there is no background story to that individual and the connection to what we're talking about. Even though they may make it sound like it or appear like it is, but it really isn't, especially when the ones are popping up saying, oh, we can do this in 5 minutes. Yeah, we can do something in 5 minutes, but we know better as American cheers, man. I mean, it takes 5 months. This is not a temporary Band-Aid kind of story, or, let's just make things manifest in our life within 24-hour kind of story. This is hard work. It's a real world. It's not about that, kind of stuff. It's about really jumping in and taking action. And then you can share those experiences as your own with others, which is more valuable than sharing something you're reading to others as valid information. So be careful with it, what you listen to or what you hear on like podcasts or YouTube videos, and and be careful because we're just basically we're just helping out influencers make more money, in that sense, which is fine by me because I watch them, so it's okay with me. And so. But that, I think the only reason I'm bringing that up is that I've noticed there's a difference between me delivering a message and other influencers delivering a message. And they're much better at it. And it's, a lot of this context that they just kind of gather and put out there. You can still see them reading stuff off the computer screen, and just repeating it, so, and I always have to question, how valid is this information? I mean, we're just sharing something you read. Might as well just go out and say, hey, this is something I'm reading right now, and then just read it, and instead of giving it this great big headline that you're, somehow connected to some other source of energy, some other source of news, or something else, because that's, and we all understand it. It's a job. Being an influencer is a job. So, just do what you have to do. And I'll always do what I have to do, and that is just me being me, talking about the American Cheer movement, talking about freedom of speech, the freedom to assemble, and those are freedom of press. Those are really important to me. Those three right there, the right to bear arms is what the big deal is right now, and in some states, but I've talked about guns before, and I'll talk about guns in the future, because it just seems like it's an endless topic, and it just keeps going around and around and around and around, and so people are thinking that, I don't know what they're thinking. It's just on repeat, 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 repeat. Hence why we need the American Cheer movement. Because if we don't start the movement and start moving forward and growing past some of those issues, we're just going to be on repeat again and again and again. I've seen these repeats already happen in the past. And they're probably past, I've seen it happen, and it's going to happen in the future. Just like I said in the past. It's just going to happen again and again and again. And that's just, first of all, that's just insane. Secondly, we can do something about it. And thirdly, I guess, it just requires taking a little action and trust in the American Cheer status. Becoming an American Cheer. And you can still believe in all that great stuff, and in the Constitution. And it's funny because people that are pushing, with the right to bear arms kind of agenda, or they get offended, they're going to stand their ground, are the same people that will probably put me down for exercising my freedom of speech, or put me down and strip me of my freedom of press, just to be able to print something and put it on the website. So, and they'll be okay with that. Oh yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have anything to do with her AK-47s. It's okay. It's just, so I always think when that happens, when there's an uprising, I'm like, how come there's no uprising with other issues? How come it's only with this one issue? That people rise, get all ruffled up, and over my dead body and holding their guns, um, as as is like this is the ultimate threat. But that isn't the ultimate threat. The ultimate threat is all the liberties and rights that we are being stripped of all the time. Every day. All Americans, even you and me. And but you won't that won't affect you in the same way. That's what I mean by that's too bad. Too bad that people just want to pick and choose issues, and the Second Amendment issue with the right to bear arms is a simple issue to jump on, because it's, to me, when I think about it, it's a state of righteousness. That bandwagon is just like, we are right, and you are wrong. And no matter what you say, you're wrong. So there's no conversation there. And that's what I always get scared of. People doing the right and wrong kind of bandwagon, because it creates all kinds of awkward division. And it's all just stupid to me. It's all dumb. Everyone's just acting dumb. Everyone's acting stupid, and taking that high, what they think is a high road, but to me it's a low road of righteousness. I'm right. Okay, you're right. Whatever. Be right, because there's no way I can convince you that anything else. If I do, you're going to interrupt me, or you're going to walk away. You're going to, you're not going to accept it. You're going to treat it in denial. So I've had this conversation with other people before, and that's the way it always ends up being. They end up just sticking to their own self-manifested lies and staying in that state of denial, no matter what I say, no matter what point I prove. Even though it's all truth, and it's true, that makes it even worse. People don't want to hear that kind of truth. They just, you're either with them or you're against them. And that's just sad. Like I said, it's almost so sad that it's stupid sad. That you would, that we would take issues and just because we have that state of right, we are right, and so that's just such an easy bandwagon to jump on, because there's no one that's going to be wrong. You're going to be right. You're going to prove everybody else wrong, and so that is just, again, that's not really having a conversation about anything. It's just saying I'm right and you're wrong. That's not a dialogue. There's nothing going on there, except for breaking people up. And I'm not into breaking people up or dividing us. I'm into unity. You know that. I want us to unite. So don't fight unity. Go with the state of righteousness with me on a bandwagon for unity. You can't go around saying I'm right for unity, right, and you're wrong for being ununified or don't want to unite. But that's not how it's going to work out. It's at least it's a better option instead of what I just said earlier. We keep repeating things in circles, and we'll repeat it again in the future. It's always going to be an awkward conversation and issue, just like other sensitive issues across the country. But we American Tears are willing to face those issues in an open-minded way, and in a solution way, not just in a dictator or right and wrong kind of way. There are so many different avenues we haven't even talked about. So that's kind of the point in talking about change and being an American Tear. And I know you understand what I'm saying. So, and that's where we need to be. That's where direction we need to be going. Not arguing about these little things like that, and infringements on our rights. Our rights are always being infringed on. Our rights are always being taken from us. The way we think and the way we act in society, it's only because they're molding us. And I know you don't feel like you're a puppet or a pawn. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you are definitely a puppet or a pawn in the whole scenario. And you just refuse to acknowledge it, because once you acknowledge that kind of stuff, you become accountable, become responsible. We have to do something about it. And you don't want to have to do anything. And I understand that too. There's a lot. America's got just a couple of years back, I'm not judging on men here, or, whatever. But, I just noticed, years back that this country has a lot of Doolittle mama boys. They just do as little as possible. And I feel like they're just like mother's boy. Like they can always run to their mother, and then they can just justify why they don't have to do anything at all, because they feel privileged, or they don't have to, or they don't want to, and or they're just too lazy to. They need people to kind of give it to them, like their mother would. So, it's and I don't want to say everyone is like that, but there are pretty big groups that I consider to be like that in America. And the appearance, though, tells me like they're just, they're real men, and they're out there to do real work and to do the real deal. And come to find out, they just look like it. They're just dressing the part. They're just following the rest of the sheep around. And so they won't get caught pretending that they're basically, and this is why you get so pissed off about everything, because you're basically a nobody. You're a no one, and you won't accept that. You need to understand that first, then we can start to work from there. But, you can't just say, oh, I'm up here, and if you can't meet me up there, and you haven't even earned the right to be somewhere else. You don't deserve it. You just think you do. You think it's something that can be given away. Just given to you. And there's a lot of Americans that experience that. It is just given to you. And that's just not healthy in a lot of ways. When you should be motivated, you should be innovative, you need to be creative. Put on your big boy pants. Tell your mom to save her pumpkin pies and bologna sandwiches for later. You got stuff to take care of. You have a life to live. You have your own right and your own accountability to pay your own price for your own life. You know? And whether it's good, bad, ugly, that is a part of your personal journey. And if you're avoiding your personal journey by sidestepping it all and running home, then you're avoiding a part of your life that's, you know, where you could be building like character. I mean, like real character, man. Hard working, integrity. You know, like know what it's like to be loyal. Know what it's like to fail, to be rejected. You know, those are things that are just real life for a lot of Americans, and you can't avoid it. But a lot of people just avoid all that. They'll just still just lay on the couch and lay on the couch year after year after year until something actually presents itself. But until that does, you know, that individual is just not going to connect the dots. Or they can connect the dots, but they just don't want to do anything about it. You know, so that's just a part of it. And I think I'm making this video a little too long. I'm covering a couple of different subjects here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. And we'll talk more later, of course, about what I just talked about and expand on it. Leave a comment if you like. You know, have a great day. Be magnificent. You know, just be yourself and be happy. Peace. Love. We'll talk later. Bye.